So for many of my students, their number one goal is to be able to just sit down with a guitar and play. They want to be able to solo and comp all together. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to do that. Even though it's traditionally a more advanced skill, I'll break it down so that even if you're a beginner or intermediate jazz player, you can start working on this skill. And I'll also show you some more advanced ways, some tips and tricks that I've picked up to make this whole process easier, and a couple of little cheat codes along the way that'll help you out. So we're gonna do this over a minor 2-5 in C minor. We're doing it in C minor because over in Chase Guitar Academy, we're working on Softly as in a Morning Sunrise. I have a whole curriculum for that if you're interested down below, and this will pair with that. So C minor, and then D half diminished, G7, G altered. I recommend using a short progression to start, and this is the one we are going to do. So let's start on the comping side, then we'll go over and add soloing, and then the third part will be adding in some of these more advanced ideas that will take this further. Just to make sure we're all on the same page here, the first thing I would do is just make sure you can identify the bass notes. So we have C, D, G, D, G, C. Once you can do that, I would add on the shell voicings. These are just simple 3-note voicings that give us the shell of the harmony. So it's going to be the root, the third, and the seventh. Basically, we don't play the fifth. So we have root, third, seventh for C minor. Take that same shape and move it up for D minor 7 flat 5, and then G7. One thing to notice here, this fingering is important. My pinky does not move from the G string. Just focus in on the pinky. This is important because as the tempo goes up, this acts like a guide post on a train track, right? So we have this guide that my pinky can just stay here, and I make all the other chord shapes around that. And the third step is actually taking away the root. So we can visualize the root if we want, but we just play the third and seventh. So just these two. Notice the fingering can be different for this version now. Third and seventh here. You can also do the original fingering. As long as you have at least that basic comping understanding of the chords for this progression, then we can move on to some ideas for soloing, how to start working on this idea of comping for yourself while you're soloing. Now, the way I would break it down, if we have a 4-measure phrase, is we want to alternate between soloing and comping. So what we'll do for the C minor chords, we're going to solo, and then we're going to just comp for the minor 2-5 part, the D minor 7 flat 5 and the G7. And I'll play a very specific example for you so you can see how you can start doing that. You want to be very simple with what you're soloing over and leave space.
Explore the space.
Okay. So it might sound like this. I'll do this without the backing track because the whole point is that we're going to be the whole band. 3, 4. So very sectioned off. We play a little idea, we play the comping. In this case, I did just the 2-note third and seventh, and then we play another idea. What works great for these little melodic ideas is just taking one of the essential jazz patterns. It could be the scale, triad, 1, 2, 3, 5, arpeggio, any of these simple single essential jazz patterns that I've talked about in other lessons. Try that to start. That's a great place to start, and then comp. Okay, but we also want to be able to solo and comp when this is flipped. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to comp for the C minor and then solo over the minor 2-5 part. So we'll do this with generally the same rhythm, and I'll just use a Charleston rhythm for our C minor comping, and we'll do the full shell voicing for this. So again, without the backing track because we're the band. 3, 4. So this sounds very basic, and for a lot of you, this might be a good place to work. But if you are okay with all of this, I want to show you some more advanced ideas right now, how we can bring these together. Because right now it's soloing and comping as sort of two different components, but really we need to integrate them together. So how do we start integrating this together? Well, the first thing is to not have it be as strictly one measure for one type and another measure for another type. So you might play something, you might play an idea for the C minor, and in that space, instead of just waiting, you just grab one of the thirds and sevenths, the shell voicings, or even a bass note, and play that in that space. So here's an example of that. 3, 4. What makes this a little bit more difficult is two things. The first one is that we actually have to move our hand faster. So you notice when I did this, I have to jump to that C minor. The other thing that makes this more challenging is we do have to think faster as well. I have to know when I'm playing this that I'm still on C minor and I have time to play the C minor voicing, and then D and the G. So both with our physical movement and with our processing speed, it requires us to be faster. Now, what if you don't want to jump to the chord though? What if we want to stay where we were? Well, what you can do is just grab a voicing that has that same melody note. So this C minor 11 voicing I like. And then from there, I'm going to do the same shell voicing for the other part. This is what I call a melodic voicing. And all I mean by that is just we're focused on not the kind of voicing, drop 2, drop 3, etc. We're just focused on the melody note, in this case E flat, and having a C minor voicing that has that melody note on top. It could have been this, could have been this C minor. Our focus is on the melody of that comping. That's what I mean by that. And what you might get from this then is you need to know different voicings that have different melody notes. If it's D on top, C minor 9. F on top, C minor 11. G, the 6th with the 7th, etc. So if you want to get more of these voicings, I will put some of my favorite melodic voicings inside the free PDF for this. It's a 6 or 7 page free PDF. You can get it in the Jazz Guitar Vault, totally for free. Just sign up for free down below. All right, so that's the melodic voicing. What if we don't want this echo effect though? So when I play this, I'm playing the melody note and then playing the chord with the same melody. So you get kind of an echoing of that E flat. As you get faster processing this, you should notice that you don't have to play the note and then the chord. Sometimes you will, sometimes you won't, but what you want to get to is where you can play the chord with the melody you want. So instead of hitting the E flat and then the chord. Now, two ways to do this. I like playing with pick and finger when doing this style. I think it gives you a lot of flexibility for the kind of voicings you can do. You don't necessarily have to, but I think it's very helpful. The other thing to keep in mind is you'll have to adjust your fingering. So say normally I would play this, ring, index, middle, and then play the chord. If I want to do this where the chord comes with that melody note, it's faster if I already have my middle finger down so that I can set up the chord. Instead of, you see how my index finger has to jump to form the chord? So there's a lot of these adjustments that only make sense in the context of, let's call it solo guitar playing. And then lastly, what if that chord is a bit too dense? There's too many notes with that. You also want to be able to play this and have some of your own personal taste for how many notes is needed for that. So maybe I go, and I take out the root. You could even just put 2 notes there. With or without that echoing. So you start to get more comfortable adding in whatever you're hearing in your head. For a lot of you guys, you aren't quite at the stage where you know a lot of these different voicings for every single possible melody note that you might encounter. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a cheat code here with this interval of a sixth. This is the sixth cheat code. And all it is for any of our melody notes within our scale or notes that we want to use over the chord, we're just going to add in a sixth below that melody note. So we're going to harmonize that melody. And I'll lay it out here for C minor. I'll play it right now. Let's also play it for the minor 2/5. So how do we use these? Why are these six helpful? Well, the first thing is that, if you might have noticed, I can bar almost all of these. I can just have a bar here, and I'm thinking about the C, and by barring, and again, using pick and finger to skip the G string, I get a harmony for that melody note. So even if I don't have a full chord for that in the moment, I can't think of what it could be. No matter what the chord is, you can harmonize it with that sixth below. Sometimes we want to fit it more exact with the harmony than others, but you can use the bar. When you really want it to fit, you're going to want to fill with the scale, harmonize it with the scale. So let me give you some examples now where I'll play that same simple melody, and we'll target every single one of the different notes for C minor, and I'll show you where you might add in that sixth. 3, 4. So it's great if you're grabbing with the index finger or even the pinky, like I did up here, and you just harmonize down below with the sixth. Okay, the final thing I want to show you guys real quick is some great examples from Emily Remler, little licks, little phrases from her solo on Softly that we'll add in some comping with, so you can get sort of a solo and comping study for this idea. If you guys want to check out the full curriculum going through Softly as in a Morning Sunrise, including a deep dive on some Emily Remler improv concepts, solo study, etc. That's in Chase's Guitar Academy. If you want to grab just these phrases, check out Jazz Phrase System down below, or check out the free PDF. You can get that down below as well. Check out the description. Okay, so let me go through a bunch of these different Emily Remler examples with the comping added in. If you guys have any questions about this approach, you can let me know down in the comments below. If this helped you, I have a bunch more ideas I could tell you about this kind of comping and soloing approach. Again, let me know in the comments, hit like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll throw up some videos here as well that you might want to check out. Thanks.